What's up, y'all? Thank you for being here and welcome back to episode 9 of the Go There Podcast. I'm your host, Bethany Michelle, and thank you for being here. Today's episode is gonna be a little different. I'm booked, I'm busy, but I'm also still unsure what the hell I'm doing. I almost didn't record this episode. I have 30 minutes before I need to move on to the next thing. I literally have someone coming clean my house today. I don't even know what I want to talk about. And that's kind of the point. That's really the point. I noticed the last 2 weeks, I kind of had, for the first time I've ever experienced, kind of a dread to record. Life has just been moving so fast, and it feels like every time I go to take a breath, it's time to record another and edit another episode, which it's the pressure I put on myself, but nonetheless, it is a little bit of pressure, and it has been getting to me. I've been finding myself, I'm like, ugh, time to record another podcast. Ugh, time to edit another podcast. And I didn't even know what I was talking about on this episode or the episode last week until I quite literally sat down. Just figuring it out as I go. And usually I prefer to have some sort of direction that I follow, some sort of bones outline. I don't know. Today just feels foggy. Today feels I feel off center today. I know a lot's coming up today, and I think maybe the fact that I'm letting a complete stranger in my fucking house is tripping me out a little bit. But hey, I'm in my busy season. I've been so booked. I've been so busy. I'm building things. I'm juggling different projects at once. I'm advocating for animals. I'm literally in there, okay? I'm in there like swimwear. And as many of you may know, my episode today is not going to get started without a good little energy drink. If you're drinking anything while watching this, cheers. So basically what I'm trying to say is that even though I do this full time, I think that people believe that once you turn something like this into full time, that you just have this complete understanding, you have this level of clarity, you know what you're doing, and y'all, this completely is not the case. I quite literally was crying because I had opened a business and didn't even know how to do my own taxes. Okay. Thank God my tax guy helped me figure it all out. And I don't even know why I cried in the first place. But just because I'm busy doesn't always mean I'm intentional. Does that make sense? Because I'm constantly doing stuff, but my goal for this year was to do less but make it more. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going. And lately I've been going so fast, I quite literally cannot keep up. I've been trying not to burn out. I've been trying to run my business. I'm trying to advocate for these shelter dogs. I'm trying to make sure I make my mortgage every month. And last night I actually sat down, I mapped it all out. I don't even want to expose myself like that. I spent double the amount of money that I made last month, and I'm wondering why I have no money left in my savings. I literally I wrote every single transaction for February down. Every single one. I was about to say don't do that, but sometimes you need to do that for a wake-up call. If you if you are wondering where your money is going, sit down with a pencil and a paper and write down every transaction, because once you see how much you're writing, oh my God. But yeah, people just think that since I'm full-time, I have all this clarity, I know what I'm doing. I'm just figuring it out like the average person, just like you are, just like they are. Everybody's just figuring it out one day at a time. And it's hard for me to know what season I'm actually in. It almost feels like I'm in the middle of somewhere in between survival and building mode, if that's even a possibility. Because financially, I'm definitely in survival mode. But I'm also, alongside that, building something long term that's hopefully going to be more financially stable. And then a lot of people are like, what does success look like to you? Is it money? Is it impact? Is it stability? Is it peace? And for me, at this very moment, success is making enough money to pay my bills by doing what I love and not burning out from it. That's what my success is. My success is not money. Well, that does include a little money. But you know what I'm saying. If I could make ends meet doing what I love, that's really all I truly can ask for at the end of the day. Like, I've chased this dream. I've met and crushed a lot of my goals. And for some reason, it still doesn't feel attainable. It's like this imposter syndrome. But hey, we all have that. So if you're watching this episode and you're like kind of feeling the same way, I'm right there with you, because success looks different for a lot of people. I know some people, success for them is just only having the amount of followers I have without any money attached to it. It's so different for so many people, and it can be measured and judged and perceived in so many different ways. When I sit down and truly think about it, success for me is not clocking in to chase someone else's dream. If I can make enough money to support myself by myself, that is success to me. No, undoubtedly. I'm like staring off into space because I'm thinking so hard, but it's so true. I don't care about the attention. I don't care about the fame. I just care about creating a life for myself that's doable, livable, enjoyable. And one thing I'll never forget is clocking out of work. And the minute I get off of work, dreading having to go back in the very, very, very next day. If I can avoid that feeling, that's success for me. It could be a month like this month where I'm in the red, or a year like the last year where I'm struggling. But not subscribing to the overall game of finding any ounce of happiness in the misery of helping someone else chase their dream. And it sucks because at the end of the day, I'm at a point too where if I don't make money online, if I don't make money from brand deals, if I don't make money from collaborations, if I don't make money, I have to go back to a 9 to 5 as well. But it's just the freedom I'm experiencing from not having to do that for once. Like, my partner gets home from work and you can just see the look in his face. Like, he gets home, he's exhausted every day, he's drained, and he's human. He doesn't always do the best job at leaving work at work. And every time he comes home basically mad at life because he had to go to work that day, it reminds me how lucky I am, how thankful I am, how blessed I am to have created a scenario to myself where I potentially don't have to ever do that again. I'm hoping and praying to God that some way out there, some reason, some way, someday, I will have enough income generated on my own to not have to subscribe to this pissing contest out there anymore. Just for like full transparency reasons, because not a lot of people listen to my podcast anyway, and I don't know if anyone's even going to make it this far. But last month, I made $1,700 from brand deals. When I wrote that down, I shit a brick. That's doable. That's a living. That's more than a lot of people need to survive. Unfortunately, my mortgage is $1,700. But regardless, it made me realize that if I was disciplined and I didn't spend money and I didn't buy food here and I didn't do stuff there, that I would have been able to make $1,700 work. It would have been right. Let me do the math. It was right under. I was still $300 under where I needed to be. But without all that unnecessary spending, I would have only been $300 away, one more brand deal away from completely covering every single bill with brand deals. I wouldn't have had to work my side gig. So that makes me realize if I lock in and I take March seriously, which I'm going to do, March is going to be my no spending, money saving March is what I'm going to call it. I'm going to see how long I can go starting yesterday, the 26th, without spending a single dollar. Or should I say, starting today, Friday, February 27th. I want to see how long I can go from today into March without spending. I did go to Sam's Club. We went to Sam's Club this last weekend. So thankfully, we have a lot of protein in the house. We just bought a 50-pound bag of rice. We have a lot of pasta. So I'm about to crack down and lock the fuck in. Because I truly am curious if I stay disciplined and motivated, if this could be something feasible long term. Because on a month where I barely tried to make brand deals, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I locked in the middle of February. I realized on, I think it was like February 18th, I was like, oh God, I only have 10 days left of the month. And so for me to be able to make that amount of money in half the amount of time that I could have, should have, would have been trying, as soon as I'm done editing this podcast and as soon as that lady gets here to clean my house, I'm hopping on my computer. I'm reaching out to brand. I don't care what it takes. I'm doing it. I'm chasing my dream. I'm not letting anything get in the way. And that's that. Maybe this episode really truly didn't even kind of need an outline. It didn't really need a structure. Because if, like I said from the beginning, if this podcast is nothing for y'all, at least it's a video diary for me. And if you did watch to the end, if you watched this far, thank you for being here. Episode 9 doesn't need a perfect title. It's just proof that sometimes showing up imperfectly, that's the growth you need. That's the authenticity that you guys need. And that's the real, raw truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat or fake nothing for you guys. Figuring it out in real time. Being booked, being busy, but being unsure. Building this thing while I'm confused and while I'm figuring it out. It's just the truth. So, that's all. My brain is just blanking. It's 9:26. This lady's going to be here in 30 minutes. So I think this is a perfect stopping point for me to go and do one last speed clean before she gets here. Yes, I am cleaning before the cleaner gets here. If you want more info on that, go look at my TikTok. But thank y'all so much for being here for episode 9. Feeling fine. And I cannot believe that next week will be quite literally episode 10 in the double digits. Doing it already. And next week will also be March. What is literally happening? I can't believe I've successfully done 2 months of podcasting. And I've already pissed a bunch of people off. Thankfully, I've only done 1 episode to piss a bunch of people off. But anyways, I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Thanks for listening to me yap, even when it's about everything and nothing all at once. I love y'all. Thank y'all for being here. And I hope y'all have an amazing Saturday. Have a great weekend. I might run down to the... It's not called World Market. It's a world festival, world events. I don't know. It's a cultural thing. It reminds me, I think it's kind of like the Festival International back in Louisiana, but we shall see. I think I might pop out to that this weekend. So, all right, my Jacksonville peeps and everyone beyond. I love y'all so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank y'all for being here, and I'll catch y'all next week. Stay safe this weekend. I love you guys. Peace.